Yo, what's up, chat? How you guys doing? What's up, Mr. Dogecoin? It's Child Kids. Hey, the original. Nice of you to join. Greek yogurt. How you doing? The chocolate steak. 1, 2, 3, 4 ID. I don't know. Jay Gamble. How's it going, Jay Gamble? What's up, Bigfoot? Nice of you to join. Hey, Losh. How's it going? Glad you could join. All right. Hey, Chi D Knight. How do you pronounce that? Bigfoot, you pulled a hamstring. Hope you're all right. Gabriel Brum. Ah, you're saying Ame nigishi kuni nigishi abasuiko hiko no ninigi no mikoto. Yes. Thanks for the super chat. How's it going? What's up, Nikki? Nice of you to join. Hey, Benjamin. Arabella. Whoa! Another one. Jake Sherry. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. And panda bears are the most equal of them all. This is story time. You love my videos? I love your videos. Thank you so much. $5 a song. I don't know if you guys want to pay $5 for me to sing. What's up, Mr. No One Here? Hey, Amy. Okay. Anywho. So I didn't have anything. Let's do the Wordle. Okay. And then we do the geography test before we get started. What's up, Lady Koi? Okay. 6:05. We'll do this in 2 minutes. Okay. I'm getting really good at this. Wait. Stop. Ore. Okay, not off to a good start. Okay. Mad? Metal. There's only one vowel, apparently. What word only has one vowel? Damage. Damsel. Mandy. No. There are 3 letters. 3 letters at the end. That's not a vowel. Mage? Maga? There are 2 A's. Maybe there are 2 A's. Mad. Oh. Hey, this is kind of hard. Mold, macked. Okay, maybe not. AMD, DM. Is it Padme? Nope. ADM. MD. Do we need to eliminate consonants? Fight. Oof. Damn. Dalmatians. Dalm? Ladle? Ladle? Damn. This is gonna be another 30-minute one. Lamps. Lamps. What is it? Okay. I'm panicking. MD. A. Lambda. Oh. No, no D, no D, no D. D is not there. MXD. XD. Amda. Amda. What is this word? Lamad. Qualms. XA. DLM. Okay, what the hell is this word? Madel? Wait, what is this? I can't do it. Oh, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose. Eliminate more consonants. Wanda. Wad. Bad. No. It has to be L. A M D. Lad. Ladle. Ladleum. Ladleum? Lamlo. Lamel. Lamla. Lamar. Oh, 2 A's. Oh, maybe there are 2 A's. Okay. Damn. Dao. Wa. A. M. A. D. What is that? Jamad. Kamad. Lamad. No. D. A. M. Okay. Ladam. Kadam. Jadam. Wadam. Zadam. Shadam. Saddam. Vadam. Fuck. Babel. Oh, God. Madam. Right? Woo! 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Okay, everyone got madam before me. Okay, fine. All right, you guys are good. Okay. All right, everyone got madam before me. Jeez. Got some smart people in the chat, huh? Okay. What a stupid word. There are 2 M's and 2 A's. How am I supposed to get that? All right. So remember last time we had we got 100% on the Europe test, okay? The Europe geography test. Today we're starting South America. South America. We're going to win. All right. I'm gonna be honest. I I know 3 countries in South America: Brazil, Argentina, and Chile. Yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna get. Maybe Peru. This is Peru, right? All right. So Chile. Ecuador is this looks like an Ecuador. Nope. This looks like an Ecuador. Nope. No. Okay. Guyana? Guyana? Guyana. This looks like a Guyana. Nope. This kind of looks like. Oh, nope. This kind of looks like. Nope. Okay. Brazil. Ah. Suriname? The hell is that? This looks like a Suriname. Oh wait, we did that. Okay. Colombia. Paraguay. We have probably that one. Nope. That one. Bolivia. This is okay. Venezuela. Ah, fuck. Venezuela, Peru, Argentina, Uruguay. All right. Not bad. Not bad. 59%. All right. This week, 59%. Okay. Next week, it's going to be 70%. There's not that many countries. Okay. It's doable, I think. My God. What do you mean? 59%. That's more than half. Okay. %59% is such a tragic number. Hey, it's my first time, okay? I'm a South America version. But next week, second time will be better. All right. It's an F. I think it's more than an F. Before we start, okay. This came from Baksu, okay? And I have no idea what it is. What is that? It's like a jello, I think, kind of thing. And there looks like cherry blossoms inside. I don't know if I can eat it. It's food, right? Since it came from Baksu. Hopefully they're not trying to poison me. So let's see. It feels like jello. And it's unopenable. Oof. Why? I can't open it. You guys. I can't open it. I need a man. I need a man to open it. Okay, got it. Okay. It seems like jello. It moves like jello. Okay. I wonder if you can probably eat the cherry blossoms, right? How do you open it? Hold up. I need scissors. Slurp it up. Okay. Put it in your face. Okay. Oh shit. It's not jello. It's watery. No, it is Jello. And watery. How do I eat this? All right, hold up. Okay, this is more trouble than I thought. Okay, let me get a plate. Wait, do not slurp it up? Why not? Are you trying to make me scared? Okay. Okay, want to see it? Want to see the Jello? Ew. Holy shit. Okay, it is Jello. It's Jello with a bunch of cherry blossoms inside. And it's kind of watery. Hmm. All right, let me get a spoon. This better be really good. Okay. Smells a little sweet. All right, here we go. Wish me luck. Pretty good. Yeah, it came in a food box, yes. It came from Baksu. Alright. Wait, should I eat the cherry blossoms? Alright. Here's a cherry blossom. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's a cherry blossom plant with a stem and everything. It's a little sour, but not bad. Okay. Okay, I can dig it. I can dig it. There we go. Okay. It's not too sweet. It's just kind of sweet, which is good. I don't like it when it's too sweet. Their cherry blossoms are kind of sour, a little bit sour, but they're pretty good. I'm gonna give it like a 7 out of 10. No, 6 out of 10 because of the packaging. Okay, it is way too hard to open up. That was not cool. I haven't died yet. Okay, so we're good. We good team. Are you ready? I'm weak. I'm very weak. Packaging gets an F. True. Moment of silence for Shinzo Abe passing. Yeah, that was a tragic incident, wasn't it? Yeah. It was so random too. And the guy didn't even have a gun. He had some kind of weapon. What happened to the ship, the SS Pacific? I don't know, Jake. What's going on? What's up, Katie? Oh, did you miss anything? You missed me having like an incident with opening this stupid package. This Jello package, yeah. I had a lot of trouble. I don't know how to open packaging. Okay, so on we go. What happened last week in our story? Okay. So, previous chapter. Um so Xiao Feng, our hero, is at this meeting of heroes, right? And things kind of go downhill very fast. The divine doctor refuses to treat Aju, and now everyone wants to like fucking sorry. Everyone wants to gangbang Xiao Feng with martial arts, right? Before fighting, he proposes a drink of wine to each of his friends, like one last drink to end their friendship. Okay, so once um, once he drinks with these people, then their friendship is over. So this way, they can kill each other without feeling like they betrayed a friend, like they were disloyal. So he drinks. He starts drinking. He drinks one bowl of wine for each person. He drinks like so at the end of the day, he drinks like 50 bowls of wine, right? And then the fighting starts, and it's just chaos. Just people like fight, like this whole crowd fights him. At first, he didn't want to kill anyone, but in the chaos, this random dude just gets in the middle of the palm strikes of Qiao Feng and these two Shaolin monks, right? They just they do palm strikes, and this guy gets in the middle, and he gets hit by the palm strikes of these three people, and the dude's just obliterated like a water balloon of blood. And once, so he dies. So that's the first death. And once the killing starts, Qiao Feng goes crazy, and he starts killing everyone. Okay, so he starts going nuts, and there are people flying and dying all over the place. Kills a bunch of people. Looks like he can't redeem himself now. He just made like 1 million enemies, which sucks. So the fight goes on, and then finally he gets hurt, saving Aju. And finally he gets like severely wounded, and he lets out this loud yell as he's about to be killed. All right, and then we end. So that was a cliffhanger. We'll see what happens today. How's that? Do, 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 do. All right. We start with chapter 20. Sadness remained at Yanmen with no words left. Sure. Hearing this deafening bellow, so remember, Qiao Feng just shouted, right? He's about to be killed. Hearing this deafening bellow by Qiao Feng, Shanzheng, this is the guy who's about to kill him with a sword, Shanzheng suddenly felt dizzy, stumbled, and was unable to stand firmly on his feet. The extraordinary people could not help but take several steps backward either. Shan Xiaoshan rushed up from the one side and thrust straight forward with his saber. The tip of the saber was less than 1 qi away from Qiao Feng's chest, but he had no intention of resisting. Seeing that, and not having the heart to look on, the people from the beggar's clan, such as Elder Wu and Bai Shijing, all closed their eyes. All of a sudden, there was a whew sound in midair. A person leapt down in an exceptionally rapid fashion and bumped himself or themselves on Shan Xiaoshan's steel saber just in time. Shan Xiaoshan was unable to withstand this great force, therefore his arm dropped. Amidst the simultaneous shocked exclamations by the extraordinary people, another person jumped down in an equally rapid manner, but their head went ahead of their feet. This person bumped into the head of Shan Xiaoshan just in time. With the pung sound, the tops of 2 skulls hit against each other, and the heads of both people were burst open at the same time. Oof. Only now did everyone see clearly. Wait, should I increase the... Yeah. Only now did everyone see clearly that the two people who had just successively leapt down were the people who had been guarding on the roof to prevent Qiao Feng from escaping, but they had been captured and thrown down like missiles by someone. The hall was immediately plunged into chaos. Okay, so someone threw two dudes to save Qiao Feng. The hall was immediately plunged into chaos, with everyone exclaiming and shouting. Suddenly, a long rope was flung down from a corner of the roof with fierce force and swept horizontally towards the head of everyone. When the extraordinary people raised their weapons, so when they say extraordinary people, that means all the heroes there, right? The hundreds of heroes there. When the extraordinary people raised their weapons to block the long rope, the tip of it suddenly turned back. It then wound around Qiao Feng's waist and immediately lifted him up. At this moment, the wounds on Qiao Feng's body were bleeding profusely, and his left hand, which was carrying Aju, no longer had the slightest strength. Hence, when he was wound around by the long rope, Aju immediately rolled down on the ground. Everyone saw that at the other end of the long rope was a man in black, who was standing on the roof and had an imposing stature. His face was covered with black cloth, with only his eyes shone. Murong? Oh, maybe. Could be. Man in black. That man clasped Qiao Feng to his side using his left arm, flung the long rope, and made it wind around a very high flagpole outside the entrance of Juxian Manor. The extraordinary people shouted. In a very short time, a great variety of missiles, such as steel darts, sleeve-hidden arrows, flying knives, iron awls, flying locust stones, and hand-swung arrows, were thrown at Qiao Feng and that man. That gritty man in black pulled the long rope, leisurely got off the ground, and landed on top of the flagpole. Tung tung, pai pai, ta ta. Sounds were heard continuously. Dozens of missiles had hit the top of the flagpole. Everyone only saw that the long rope was flung from the top of the flagpole and wound around a big tree which was 8 or 9 chang away. Clasping Qiao Feng, that man swung off the top of the flagpole. In an instant, he had already passed that big tree and landed on a place which was 10 chang away from the flagpole on the ground. It's a lot of measurements here. He then flung the long rope again, winding it around another distant big tree. After hoisting and landing in this way several times, he disappeared into thin air. The extraordinary people gasped with astonishment and looked at each other. They only heard horse hoofbeats galloping farther and farther. It was already too late to chase after him. Qiao Feng had suffered serious injuries, but he was still in full command of his senses. He had seen clearly every act and every move that this man had used the long rope to save himself from danger. Hence, he felt deeply grateful to him for saving his life and thought, flinging the rope accurately and powerfully like this, I can do as well. But using the long rope as a weapon and swinging it to attack dozens of people at the same time, I can't use this celestial maiden scatters flowers stance, inflexible whip techniques as perfectly as he did. Oh, maybe this guy seems like he's really powerful. Remember, Qiao Feng is super strong, right? But if he's impressed by this dude, so this dude must be extra strong. One sec. The man in black put him on horseback. Both of them rode the same horse and went northward. That man took out Qin Chuang medicine, which is medicine for treating wounds caused by metal objects, and applied it onto Qiao Feng's 3 wounds. Having shed so much blood, Qiao Feng was very weak. Hence, he almost passed out several times. But every such time, he took a breath and circulated his internal energy. His spirit then rose back. That man urged the horse straight northwest. After going for a while, the path became more and more rugged. Afterwards, there was no longer any path, and the horse merely went by, stumbling over disorderly piles of rock. After going for more than 1 hour further, the horse could no longer walk. That man then carried Qiao Feng horizontally in his hands, got off the horse, and climbed up a mountain peak. Qiao Feng's body was very heavy, but that man carried him effortlessly. Even though they were in a very precipitous place, he easily used a long rope to wind around branches, to jump over ravines. After that man had passed 8 dangerous ravines in a row, he went down all the way, going deep into an abyss from which the sky could not be seen. Finally, he stopped and put Qiao Feng down. All right, who is this man? Qiao Feng strained to stand firmly and said, "This great debt of gratitude can't be paid using words. Kind brother, would you please let Qiao Feng see your true face?" That man's pair of glaring eyes roved over his face. After a long time, he said, "In the cave, there are enough dry provisions to use in half a month. You stay here to care for your injuries. The enemies won't be able to come." Qiao Feng replied, "Yes," and thought, hearing the voice of this man, it seems that he's not young anymore. That man sized Qiao Feng up for a while, then suddenly waved his right hand. With a pai sound, he gave Qiao Feng a slap in the face. His action was very fast, and firstly, Qiao Feng had not expected that the man would hit him, and secondly, this palm attack was executed extremely brilliantly. Therefore, he was unable to dodge it. That man followed it up with the second palm attack. The 2 palm attacks were only a flash apart. However, once Qiao Feng had this marginal amount of time, how could he let the man hit him again? But because the man had saved his life, Qiao Feng did not want to fight him. Moreover, he had no strength to dodge. Hence, he extended his left forefinger and put it next to his own cheek, pointing at the center of the palm of that man. This forefinger pointed at the Laogong acupoint in the center of the man's palm. If this palm attack by him kept coming, then when the palm had not yet reached Qiao Feng's cheek, it would have already bumped into the forefinger first. When the palm of that man's was less than 1 qi away from Qiao Feng's cheek, he immediately turned it over and used the back of the hand to attack. This change of stances was done exceptionally fast. Qiao Feng also very quickly moved the forefinger and pointed at the Erjian acupoint on the back of the man's hand. That man let out a stream of laughs, ha 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 ha, forcefully withdrew his right hand, then chopped horizontally with his left. Qiao Feng extended the left forefinger and pointed at the ho acupoint on the edge of his palm. This guy is defending himself with a forefinger. The arm of that man was suddenly lifted a little bit, but kept coming with no decrease in momentum. Without delay, Qiao Feng moved his finger and pointed at the Qianggu acupoint on the edge of that man's palm. In an instant, the 2 palms of that man danced in the air, changing stances more than 10 times in a row. Qiao Feng only defended and did not attack. His fingers were always pointed so that if the man hit him, the acupoints on his palms would bump into the fingers first. That man had taken Qiao Feng by surprise with the first palm attack and hit him. But after that, he was unable to hit Qiao Feng again. The 2 of them attacked and defended without touching each other, but every stance was a top-class martial arts skill that was rarely seen at the present time. After the man used the 20th stance, seeing that Qiao Feng was still able to change stances very quickly and locate the acupoints very accurately, despite having suffered serious injuries, he suddenly withdrew his palms, jumped backward, and said, "No one is more stupid than you are. I shouldn't have saved you." Qiao Feng said, "I'm sincerely waiting for your instructions." The man scolded, "You stinking dumbass. Having practiced and become unequaled in martial arts under heaven, why did you want to waste your life for a skeletal chick? She isn't your relative or friend, didn't do you any favor, or have any relationship with you, and isn't a gorgeous woman either. She's just a slowly slave girl, nothing more. Why on earth there's such an idiot like you? Was this fan translated? Yeah, this whole thing is fan translated. Yeah, by like a million different translators. Xiao Feng let out a sigh and said, Savior, your criticisms are true. It was really senseless of Xiao Feng to do this useless thing with my useful body, but at that moment I couldn't hold back my fury. My barbaric nature broke out, so I wasn't thinking of the consequences. That man said, So it was because of the barbaric nature breaking out. He turned his head towards the sky and let out a long stream of laughs. Xiao Feng felt that there were a lot of desolation and indignation in his long stream of laughs. Suddenly, that man jumped to his feet and leapt out for more than 1 zhang. With just a slight shake of his body, he disappeared behind a big rock. Xiao Feng called out, Savior! Savior! But he only saw that the man continuously leapt, then went around past a ravine. He was already very far. As soon as Xiao Feng took a stride, he tottered. He hastily stretched out his hand and put them against the cliff to support his body. After composing himself, he turned around and really saw a cave behind the stone wall. Supporting himself on the cliff, he slowly walked into the cave. He only saw a lot of dry provisions, such as cooked meat, roasted rice, jujubes, peanuts, and dried fish put on the ground. What's even better was that there was a big jar of wine. This man knows what he likes. When he opened the jar, the bouquet rushed into his nose. He reached into the jar and took out a scoop of wine to drink. The wine had a sweet taste. It was first-class wine. Xiao Feng felt grateful. It's rare to see someone as thoughtful as this savior is. He knows that I like drinking, and even has wine for me in here. It's hard to go on the mountain paths, yet he carried this big jar of wine to here. Didn't this take too much trouble? How long is 1 zhang? They said before, right? Can't find it. How long is 1 zhang? It is about 11 feet, 9 inches. There you go. The Jinchuang medicine that man had applied onto him was very effective. At this moment, the wounds had already stopped bleeding. Several Xinchen, which is hours, several hours later, the pain was gradually relieved. He was a robust man with a profound internal energy, and the wounds he had suffered were merely external. Therefore, even though they were not minor injuries, after 7 or 8 days, they were already almost half healed. During these 7 or 8 days, he only thought about 2 matters. Who's the enemy that harmed me, and who is my savior? Both of these people had very outstanding martial arts, perhaps not below those of his own at all. In Wulin, the people who possessed these skills were very rare and could be counted on the fingers of one hand. He bent his fingers. Wait, did we miss something? Who's the enemy that harmed me? So he didn't know who hit him. Like, remember he was hit. He was injured 3 times, right? So apparently he doesn't know who hit him to cause those injuries, I guess. Okay. In Wulin, the people who possessed these skills were very rare. And he bent his fingers and could count every one of them out. But after thinking carefully, he found that none of them was similar to these 2 people. It was understandable that he could not guess who the enemy was, but because he had exchanged 20 stances with the savior, he should be able to guess what school his martial arts belonged to. However, all the stances used by that man had been completely normal, yet at the same time had shown enormous skills in their simplicity. Just like the founder's long fist Qiao Fang himself had used at Juxian Manor, hence the stances did not give anything away about his identity. Oh, he doesn't know who did the crimes he's accused of. Okay, thanks, Lady Koi. Yeah, okay. So not the enemy who injured him, but the guy, the person who's framing him. Gotcha. In 2 days, he already drank up that jar of wine. Enduring until the 20th day, he felt that the wounds had 70 or 80% healed up. By now, his addiction of wine had become so strong that he could no longer keep enduring. This guy is an alcoholic. Thinking that he could already jump over the ravines without any difficulty, he went out of the cave and tramped over hills and dales to return to Jianghu. He thought Aju had fallen into the hands of them. If she's dead, then she's already dead. If she's still alive, there's also no need for me to take care of her again. The most important and urgent... Wow, this guy, he doesn't care at all. He has no emotions. What a robot. The most important and urgent thing at the moment is finding out what kind of a man I am. Dad, Mom, and Master passed away in one day, so the mystery of my origin has become harder to clear up. I must go to the outside of Yanmen Pass to see the writing left behind on that stone wall. Because remember, when he was a little infant, when his father died, his father wrote some stuff on a stone wall, right? So now he wants to go and see the writing. Yeah, so it looks like he saw Aju as not as like a potential romantic partner, but just as someone he needs to take care of out of duty. So it kind of shows what kind of his character. Like he is a very dutiful person, I guess. Like he's like, it's my duty to save this person, even at the cost of my own life, because it's the right thing to do. The Chinese considered alcoholics to be relatable. Hold on. Boop, doop, doop. Okay. Wait. All right. After calculating, he went northwest. When arriving in a town, the first thing he did was drinking 20 bowls of wine. In only 3 days, the remaining several taels of silver fragments were all changed into good wine, which he drank until there was nothing left. All right, dude used all of the rest of his money to buy wine and just... Great, good job. Great use of your money. At that time, the Great Song was ruling the Central Plains. It divided the country into 15 regions. The main capital was Daliang. Dongjing was Kaifeng Prefecture. Xijing, the western capital, was Luoyang in Hunan Prefecture. Nanjing, the southern capital, was Songzhou. Daming was Beijing, the northern capital. In total, there were 4 regional capitals. For the moment, Qiaofeng was in Ruzhou, in the Xijing region. That day, when he got to Liang County, his silver had been used up. Hence, he snuck into the county's office and stole several hundred taels of silver from the public treasury during the night. Oh, I guess he doesn't really care about money. He can just steal it anytime he wants. On the way, he ate and drank a lot. Chickens, ducks, fish, sorghum, and good wine were all paid by government officials of great song. One day he arrived in Daizhou in the Hedong region. Well, if he's a Khitan guy, he probably doesn't care about the Song dynasty's treasury. He's got a problem. Yanmen Pass was located 30 li to the north of Daizhou on the rugged Yanmen Path. Previously, when carrying out heroic deeds in Jianghu, Xiaofeng had also been to here, but at that time, due to having important matters, he had gone past it without paying attention. When he arrived in Daizhou, it was already early 11 a.m. He had a quick meal and drank around 10 bowls of wine in the city, then went out of it and headed north. His steps were fast, therefore he traveled these 30 li in less than an hour. When he had climbed up the mountain, he saw that both the eastern cliff and the western cliff were high and steep. The path between them was winding and rugged. This was really a very dangerous place. He thought, wild geese travel south and return north, can't fly over the high mountains. All of them gotta go between the two peaks, so this place is called Yanmen Pass, which is Wild Geese's Gate. Wait, this place is called Yanmen, which is Wild Geese's Gate. Today I came here from the south. Today I came here from the south. If the writing on the stone wall states clearly that I'm really a Khitan, then after I go out of Yanmen Pass, this time I'll forever become a man in the north of the pass and no longer enter the pass again. I'll be inferior to the wild geese that once every year go to the south from the north and return. Thinking to here, he could not help but feel grieved. Looks like he plans to leave China, to leave the Song China. Yanmen Pass was an important military post of the Great Song in the north. There were more than 40 passes in Shanxi, and Yanmen was the most imposing and secure one. Beyond several tens of li outside the pass was the Liao Empire. Because there was always a large number of soldiers defending below the pass, Xiaofeng thought if he went out through it, he would unavoidably be interrogated and examined by the guarding officers and soldiers. Therefore, he made a detour via the high ridge in the west of the pass. After reaching the highest peak, he scanned widely around, but saw nothing other than mountains and mountains. The towering Mount Wutai in the east, the Ningwu mountain range in the west, the Mount Zhengyang and Mount Shigu standing upright in the south, and in the north being Mount Shouzhou and Mount Mayi. With seemingly boundless long slopes and steep mountainsides, combined with vast, lonely, cold forest, the scene was very gloomy. Xiaofeng remembered that while going past Yanmen Pass that year, he had heard his comrades say that General Li Mu of the state of Zhao, during the Warring States period, and General Ji Du of the Han Dynasty, both had garrisoned Yanmen to defend against Xiongnu invasions. If he himself was really Xiongnu and a Khitan descendant, then for the last thousands of years, the people who had been invading China all were his ancestors. He looked at the terrain in the north and thought, that day when people such as Chief Wang and Zhao Qiansun ambushed the Khitan warriors outside Yanmen Pass, they must have chosen the most advantageous mountain slope within more than 10 li of here. No place has better terrain than the mountain slope in the corner to the northwest of here does. 10 to 1, they set up the ambush there. He quickly ran down the mountain and went to that mountain slope. Suddenly, he felt a burst of causeless sorrow. He only saw that there was a large piece of rock on that mountain slope. Ji Guangdashi had said that the extraordinary people of the Central Plains had hid behind a large rock and shot poisonous missiles out. It seemed it was this large piece of rock. There was a deep ravine several steps outside the mountain path. Clouds and mists enveloped the ravine, making it impossible for anyone to see the bottom. Xiaofeng thought, if Ji Guangdashi's words are true, then after my mother was killed by them, my father jumped into the ravine to commit suicide from here. After jumping into the mouth of the ravine, he couldn't bear to make me die with him, so he tossed me up onto the body of Chief Wang. What did he write on the stone wall? Xiao Feng turned around and looked at the cliff on the right-hand side, only seeing that it was naturally flat and glossy. But right in the middle of the big stone wall, they were full of cuts caused by axes and chisels. Obviously, someone had deliberately scraped away the writing that had been left behind. Damn. Xiao Feng stood in a trance in front of the stone wall. Then suddenly he could not refrain from getting furious. He only wanted to brandish a saber and raise his palms to massacre, but he suddenly remembered one matter. When I left the Beggars clan, I broke Shang Zheng's steel saber and vowed that it didn't matter if I was a Han or a Khitan. I definitely wouldn't kill any Han person. But at Juxian Manor, how many people did I kill in one go? Yet, in this moment, I wanted to kill again. Wouldn't this seriously violate the vow? Alas, when things already became like that, if I hadn't offended other people, they would offend me. If I had passively waited for death, then let other people cut and kill me, how could it be the action of a true man? He had run thousands of li to here because he wanted to find out about his own origin, but from beginning to end, he had not achieved the slightest result. Getting more and more irascible, he shouted loudly, I'm not a Han! I'm not a Han! I'm a Khitan barbarian! I'm a Khitan barbarian! He then raised his palms and repeatedly hit the stone wall. He only heard the valley resounding with his shouts, each of which echoed back, Not a Han! Not a Han! Khitan barbarian! Khitan barbarian! Stone bits from the stone wall scattered all around. The grief and fury in Xiao Feng's heart could not be expressed. He kept striking out with one palm attack after another. It seemed he wanted to vent all kinds of grievances he had suffered for the past more than 1 month on the stone wall. Afterwards, his palms bled. The marks of his gory fingers were printed on the wall one by one, but he kept on hitting. While he was hitting, suddenly he heard the pleasing, clear voice of a girl from behind. Great Master Xiao, if you kept hitting, this mountain peak would be knocked down by you. Ah, fuck. Define irascible? Oof. Getting more and more irascible. What could that mean? I think he's getting, could he mean more angry? But why didn't they translate it as angry? Annoyed? Like, I think it's angry. Getting more and more angry. Irascible. Irritable, having or showing a tendency to be easily angered. Yeah, there you go. Growing more irritable, quick-tempered. Hot temper.
Irascible. Irascible.
Irascible. Who could this girl be? How did she find him here? Startled, Xiao Feng turned his head around and saw a young girl standing under a flower tree, but beside the mountain slope, leaning against it. The girl was wearing a reddish gown and was smiling. She was none other than Ah Ju. That day he had saved her merely because he had been stimulated by the indignation of that moment, but in fact he had not cared about this little maid. Afterwards, busy enough with his own affairs, he had ignored and forgotten the matter concerning her life and death. Unexpectedly, she suddenly appeared here. Hence Qiao Feng was astonished. But after that, he also felt happy. He went upwards to greet her, laughed, and said, Ah, Ju, have you gotten well? However, because his mood suddenly changed from being furious to happy, his smiling expression was rather forced. Aju said, Great Master Qiao, how are you? She gazed at Qiao Feng for a short while, then suddenly threw herself into his bosom and sobbed, Great Master Qiao, I've been waiting for you here for 5 days and 5 nights. I only feared that you wouldn't come. You've really come. Thank the heavens, in the end, you're safe and sound. She said these few sentences in an intermittent manner, but her words were filled with gladness and solace. She waited here for him for 5 days and 5 nights. Damn. As soon as Qiao Feng heard them, he knew that she cared about himself very much. He felt moved and asked, Why have you been waiting here for me? For 5 days and 5 nights. How did you know that I'd come here? Aju slowly raised her head. Suddenly, remembering that she was leaning against the bosom of a man, she blushed and took 2 steps backwards. When she recalled that just a moment ago she had been unable to control her feelings, her face reddened even more. She suddenly turned around and went quickly to the back of the tree. Xiao Feng called out, Hey, Aju, what are you doing? Aju did not reply. She only felt that her heart... Did she just run and hide behind a tree? Okay. She only felt that her heart was beating chaotically. After a good while, she walked out from behind the tree. Her face still looked rather embarrassed. For the moment, she stammered and was unable to say anything clearly. Finding her expression strange, Qiao Feng said, Aju, if you have something that is hard to say, feel free to tell me. The 2 of us are friends in adversity, who went through life and death situations together. What are you still worrying about? Well, this guy's clueless. Okay, he may be a good martial artist, but in these matters, he's just totally clueless. Rule 34. I'm sure it already exists. All right. Aju's face reddened again. She said, nothing. Qiao Feng gently... Wait, hold on. We've gone for a while. All right. 5-minute break, guys. 5-minute break. We'll be right back. And we back. We are back. What is going on in the chat? Turtle Apple. What is bosom? Bosom just means chest. So on a dude, that's his chest. Qiao Feng gently pulled her shoulder and turned her face towards the sunlight. He saw that even though her countenance was still very haggard, a reddish color could vaguely be seen under her pale cheeks. They no longer had the gray color of when she had been seriously injured that day. Oh, what happened? Has she been healed? Qiao Feng then put out his finger to feel her pulse. Aju's entire body shook when her wrist touched his finger. Qiao Feng asked, What's wrong? You're still unwell? Aju blushed again and hurriedly said, No, nothing. Qiao Feng checked her pulse, but found that it was beating steadily and comfortably. Wait, shouldn't it be beating really fast? He praised. Divine Dr. Sui could bring the dying back to life. He really lives up to his reputation. Aju said, Luckily, only because your good friend, Elder Bai Shi Jing, promised to teach Divine Dr. Sui 7 stances of the silk thread winding grasping hand technique did he treat my injury. More importantly, they wanted to interrogate me about the whereabouts of that master in black. If I had died at that moment, they wouldn't have been able to ask anything. Then the condition of my injury got better a bit. Every day, 7 or 8 people came and asked me, What is the relationship between the evil traitor Qiao Feng and you? Where has he escaped to? Who's the man in black that saved him? At first, I didn't know anything about these matters, but when I honestly said that I didn't know, they insisted that I was lying. They also threatened me a lot, saying that they'd starve and torture me. So I secretly made up some stories and told them. The story about the master in black was the most absurd. One day I said she he was from Mount Kunlun. The next day, I again said he had once learned martial arts in the East Sea. It was very interesting talking nonsense to them. Speaking up until here, recalling that during those days she had talked nonsense to and made a fool of many current well-known heroes and extraordinary people, she still had some lingering enjoyment, and a smiling expression appeared on her face, making it look like a spring flower which had just opened. Qiao Feng smiled and said, "Did they believe you?" Aju said, "Some did, and some didn't. The majority of them half believed and half doubted. I guess they didn't know the identity of the master in black either, and no one would be able to argue that my words were incorrect. So my stories became more and more curious, making them very suspicious and filled with anxiety." Xiao Feng sighed and said, "In the end, what's the identity of this master in black? I don't even know it. Perhaps if I heard you talking through your hat, I'd also half believe, half doubt." Surprised, Aju said, "You don't know him either? Then why was he willing to risk saving you from an extremely dangerous place? Ah, of course, every great hero who saves people in danger is just like that." Qiao Feng sighed and said, "I don't know who I should take revenge on, and I don't know who I should pay my debt of gratitude either. I don't know if I'm Han or who, and don't know if in the end my conduct and deeds are right or wrong. Qiao Feng, oh Qiao Feng, you're really a man for nothing." What does that mean? He's so dense. He's super dense. Seeing his miserable expression, Aju could not help putting out her hands and holding his. She soothed him. "Great Master Qiao, why do you have to make yourself suffer? There will be one day when everything will come to light. As soon as you have a clear conscience and act and behave according to the law of heaven and earth, that is good enough." Qiao Feng said, "But I myself have a guilty conscience. Because of it, I feel very sorry. That day in the apricot forest, I flicked the saber and took a vow that I'd never kill a Han. But, Aju said, "At Yuxian Manor, those people disregarded rights and wrongs to jointly attack you. If you hadn't struck back, could it be that you'd have confusedly let them cut you into 17 or 28 pieces? There's no such thing under heaven." Qiao Feng said, You're right. He was a broad-minded, brave man. Therefore, he only felt grieved and lonely for a limited time. After a while, he cast these feelings aside and said, he's a real man, guys. He doesn't feel feelings. He cast these feelings aside and said, "Ji Guang Daishi and Zhao Qianshun both said they were words written on this stone walls, but someone has scraped them off." Aju said, "Yes, I guess you'd definitely go out of Yanmen Pass to see the words left behind on this stone wall. That's why after I escaped from danger, I went to here immediately to wait for you." Qiao Feng asked, "How could you escape? It's also Elder Bai who saved you?" Aju smiled. "No, it isn't. You remember that I once disguised as a Shaolin monk, right? Even his apprentice younger and older brothers couldn't discover it." Xiao Feng said, "Yes, this mischievous skill of yours is really good." Aju said, "That day, when the condition of my injury was already very good, Divine Dr. Sui said there was no need to treat the injury anymore, and after resting for 7 or 8 days, I'd fully recover. The stories I made up gradually had more and more flaws. Also, I already got somewhat bored with making them up, and was worried about you. So in the evening of that day, I disguised as a person." Xiao Feng asked, "Disguise again? Who did you disguise as?" Aju said, "I disguise as Divine Dr. Sui." Nice. Slightly startled, Qiao Feng said, "How could you disguise as Divine Dr. Sui?" Aju said, "He met me every day and talked to me the most, so I was familiar with his appearance and manner the most. Besides, he often stayed with me alone. In the evening of that day, I pretended to fall in a faint. He came to feel my pulse. Then I turned my hand over and grabbed the inner surface of his wrist. He could no longer move and had no choice but to let me arrange." Let you arrange what? Xiao Feng could not help but burst out laughing and thought, this divine Dr. Sui only focused on treating illnesses. He didn't expect to be fooled by this imp at all. Aju said, I blocked his acupoints, removed his clothes and footwear. As my acupoint blocking skill isn't first class, I feared he would unblock them. So I tore the bed sheet, tied up his limbs, then put him on the bed, and used the quilt to cover him. If someone looked in from outside the window, they'd only think that I was sleeping deeply with my head covered by the quilt. No one would suspect. After I put on his clothes, shoes, and hat, and piled wrinkles onto my face, I already looked 70% similar to him, but I lacked a beard. Xiao Feng said, Oh, Divine Dr. Sui's beard is half black and half white. It's not easy to fake it. Aju said, It was impossible to make a copy, so in the end, I used the real one. Xiao Feng asked in surprise, The real one? Yes, the real one. I took out a small knife from his medicine chest and shaved off his beard, then stuck every single thread on my face. Damn. There wasn't the slightest difference in color and appearance. Divine Dr. Sui must have been extremely angry, but what could he do? Treating my injury wasn't his true goal, so me shaving off his beard doesn't count as requiting kindness with enmity, let alone the fact that after having his beard shaved off, it seemed he became younger by more than 10 years, looking very handsome. Okay. Damn. Nice job. So apparently she shaved off his beard and stuck every single thread, one by one, on her face. Okay. She's just that good. I'm starting to like her. Whoa, guys, we're almost halfway. What the? We're almost done. As she spoke until here, the two of them looked at each other and burst out laughing. Aju continued after she finished laughing. After disguising as Divine Dr. Sui, I swaggered out of Juxian Manor. Of course, no one dared to ask me anything. I asked people to prepare a horse and take silver for me, then went off. When I was 30 li away from the manor, I pulled off the beard and changed into a young guy. Those people must have discovered it no sooner than the early morning of the next day. But on the way, I already changed my appearance. They certainly wouldn't be able to find me. Beard thief. Xiao Feng applauded and said, Brilliant! Brilliant! Suddenly, he recalled that at Shaolin Monastery, when seeing his... Do we get to find out her secret? Suddenly, he recalled that at Shaolin Monastery, when seeing his own back in the copper mirror in the Bodhi Institute, he had been very dumbfounded and vaguely felt uneasy about something. At this moment, when he heard her talking about how she had disguised and escaped from danger, not only did this uneasy feeling suddenly emerge again, but it was also more intense than it had been that day at the Shaolin Monastery. He considered and said, You turn around for me. Aju did not understand what his intention was, but she still turned around. Xiao Feng considered for a long while, then took off his coat and wrapped it around her body. Blushed, Aju turned her head around, looked at him affectionately, and said, I'm not cold. Oh, that's not what he's doing. When Xiao Feng saw her being wrapped in his coat, his mind suddenly became clear. He turned his hand over, grabbed her wrist, and said sternly, It turns out it was you. Who incited you? Quickly, tell me. Aju was frightened and said in a trembling voice, Great Master Qiao, what's the matter? Xiao Feng said, What you once disguised as me, and pretended to be me, right? Wow, kinky. What, you like that, Losh? It turned out, in this moment, he suddenly recalled that day in Wuxia, when he had been rushing to rescue his Beggars Clan brothers. He had seen the back of a person on the road. At that moment, he had not taken notice of it. But when seeing his own back in the copper mirror in the Bodhi Institute, he had started to vaguely remember that the back of that man and his own back had looked exactly alike. As a result, that uneasy feeling had emerged, but he had been confused and totally had not known the cause of it. That day, when he had rushed to rescue the the beggar clan's extraordinary people, by the time of his arrival, everyone had already escaped from danger, and all of them had said they had met him not long ago. Even though he had denied that, no one had believed him. At that time, he had been baffled and thought there had been no reason for it other than someone imitating him. But if someone had wanted to imitate him to the extent that the people who had met him on a day-to-day basis, such as Bai Shijing and Elder Wu, had not been able to discover it, would it not be easier said than done? This moment, as soon as he saw the back of Aju, who was being wrapped in his coat, everything from beginning to end was confirmed further, and he immediately understood. Even though Aju was not having cotton padding on her body, and her small, delicate back was very different than his majestic appearance, but if there were to be someone to imitate him and fool the beggar's clan, aside from her, who else under heaven could? Oh no, that's not what he was worried about. He's worried about something else. Aju did not panic at all. She giggled and said, "Okay, I have no choice but to confess." She then told him about how she disguised as him and saved the beggar clan's people using the antidote. Xiao Feng let go of her wrist and said sternly, "You disguised as me and saved people. What was your intention?" Aju was very surprised and said, "I just wanted to play a joke. You saved me and Abi from the hands of the Western Xia people, so both of us are very grateful to you. Seeing those beggars treat you badly like that, I thought if I disguised as you and cured them of the poison, making them feel ashamed, it would be a good thing." She let out a sigh and continued, but who could have known at Juxian Manor they were still so cruel to you, and didn't remember anything about the kindness and friendship of the past?" Xiao Feng's expression became grimmer and grimmer. He gnashed his teeth and said, "Then why did you disguise as me and kill my parents? Why did you sneak into the Shaolin monastery and kill my master?" And we're done. Aha! Good to end on a cliffhanger, right? All right. Did you guys like that? That was a good chapter. What do you think? Was it her? Or was it someone else? Was she the one who framed him? Obviously not, right? No, I'm not ending early. We usually end at half like we usually do half of a chapter per stream. So yeah, I think we went past the halfway mark a little bit. But yeah. You can see that she says no. Yep. But then wouldn't a guilty person say no also? Hmm. She admitted to it? No, she admitted to disguising as him to save the beggars clan. But she didn't admit to killing his parents and his master, right? She didn't do that. So she could be the same, she could be the person who framed him, or she could not be. Yeah. I can't stop there. I have to. We've passed the halfway mark. Okay. Yeah. Of course it wasn't her. I don't think it's her. It can't be, right? She is not that powerful. So how could she kill the master? She giggled, so she probably didn't kill his parents. True. Yeah, she's not a strong fighter, so it doesn't really make sense to be suspicious of her. Oh wait, guys, give me a second. Ugh. Yeah, I don't think it's her. But then what does he think? What if he misunderstands her? Oh, maybe she's hiding her power level? Oh. I don't think so though. She was almost dead before, right? She needed him to save her. I don't think so. Ugh. All right. All right, guys. Cheers. Thank you for coming. Toxicant. Wait, you've been reading this? Cool. Just randomly? Nice. Maybe it was all a part of the scheme. Maybe. Okay. Wow. You guys think she's that scheming? Maybe. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. Tune in next week to see what happens. Okay. Does Chao Feng believe that that she's a bad person or not? Thanks for coming. I love you. I'll see you next week. Bye.